Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now today I have a very special video for you. Yes, a very special video for you indeed. And that video is... Wait a second. What is today's video? What are we doing?
Do all ideas deserve a fair hearing?
No, we are not doing a video on Steve Shives. No, not just no, but hell no.
Come on, old boy, stop being such a little bitch and just do it!
But come on. Do I have to? Oh, fine, you know what, fuck it, whatever, I do it, okay, I do it. Now, I'm not gonna be happy about doing this, but okay, I'm gonna do it. Because it does pertain to a couple other things that have happened in the news since I've been away. So instead of me addressing all that other shit, we're gonna attack the underlying problem here in this video. So, without further ado, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, you know, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm not sorry, because I'm gonna have to subject myself to this, and you're gonna be subjected to it too. Sorry, I just couldn't help myself. Okay, play his video.
Do all ideas deserve a fair hearing? Sure.
Great, fantastic. Now that we've all agreed, we can move on. It's not that simple though, is it?
But what about ideas who have had their fair hearing and have been widely discredited and rejected?
Steve, motherfucking Steve. You see, us normal folk out here believe in a free, open marketplace of ideas and voices where they will be either rejected or embraced on their own merit. Are you suggesting that we banish those that do not become the popular opinion? But then again, this is Steve Shives. We should look to you. Yes, let's banish the ideas that you don't like. Yes, everybody, let's look to Steve fucking Shives.
With the recent punching of white supremacist Richard Spencer and protesters shutting down scheduled appearances by racist, misogynist, professional internet troll Milo Yiannopoulos.
Well, you know, that's just like, your opinion, man.
Okay, so I don't really know much about this Richard Spencer guy, but I have heard a little bit about Milo. So when you say internet troll, yeah, probably, yeah, okay. Misogynistic, well, he's a white male, aren't we all? And, but fucking see, when you say racist, are you not aware that Milo Yiannopoulos is a homosexual man who likes black dick? Fucking racist. Come on, Steve. I know you're dumb, but come on.
I've heard many people arguing that the likes of Spencer and Yiannopoulos should be allowed to have their say, that their voices ought to be heard, so that if their claims are false or their rhetoric is harmful, we can respond in kind, with the truth, or with better ideas.
So, you've heard people arguing about this, and you, with your infinite wisdom, you thought to yourself, well, I'm Steve Shives, and the popular opinion is right because it's popular. And you know, once an opinion has become popular, it should be protected against all opposing views and opinions. Yes, a safe space for my opinions and views. Ugh, I can't have my precious views and opinions challenged, you know, so fuck you because... I'm just kidding, of course. Steve blocked me a long ass time ago. You know what, as a matter of fact, he probably has you blocked too. Yeah, you know what, go to his Twitter and see if you're blocked. See if you're part of the club.
The people making these arguments are, for the most part, good, well-intentioned people. Many of them are just as disgusted by Yiannopoulos and Spencer as I am. They're motivated by their dedication to free and open discourse.
But good old Steve Shives here has no such dedication to open and free discourse. I mean, if it offends him, it's just plain wrong. If anything offends his delicate sensibilities, well, you should just be punched in the face. Okay, well, Steve himself is not going to punch you, but that's only because he's a big pussy, and I'm sure it would hurt him to punch you in the face more than it would actually hurt your face for him to punch you in it. But he is all for cheering on and praising anyone who punches people who disagree with him.
If I open my newspaper and I read Nazi got punched last night,
I'm going to say, oh, good. You know, that's what I'm going to say, because fuck him. If I read the newspaper next week and the story is, oh, Richard Spencer is afraid to leave his house because every time he steps out his front door, somebody punches him, I'm going to say, good. Fuck him.
The leftist protesters, no, I'm not a neo-Nazi.
You like black people?
Well, why not? Sure.
You marry a black woman?
Love you if you're not a neo-Nazi. Neo-Nazis don't love me. They kind of hate me, actually.
Following
the KKK, neo-Nazi. Those people don't like me. Are you like the hipster version of the neo-Nazi movement? It's Pepe's become kind of a symbol.
If something shitty happens to a shitty person, I'm not going to pretend that they're not a shitty person and say, oh, that's too bad. It's so sad that happened. I'm going to say, good. Something shitty happened to a shitty person. To the principle that no idea should be suppressed. And in principle, that's a fine notion, particularly when we're talking about the role the government plays in regulating speech.
So it's okay to punch people to silence them, so long as it's not the government doing the punching. Well, thank you so much for the clarification, Steve.
Do we want the state stepping in and saying that there are certain things we just can't say, no matter how vile those things might be? No, I don't think most of us would want that. But does that mean that every propagator of every theory and ideology is entitled to a platform and an audience?
No one is entitled to an audience or platform, Steve, but if they are given one, if they earn a platform, if they get an audience, then you do not get to bar them from having that because they disagree with your opinions or views, you dumb, ignorant son of a...
No, of course not. And since when has that ever been the case? We ignore people promoting what we have come to regard as bad ideas all the time.
Yes, Steve. We can ignore them. We can debate them. Hell, you can even protest what they are saying. But what you do not do is you do not fucking punch them or riot.
It happens in science, it happens in politics, it happens in our everyday lives. There comes a point where the argument is over.
Well, you know what? He's right. There is a point when the argument is over. And it's over when you decide to bring in threats, violence, and intimidation to silence the opposition. Steve, it's over because you have lost the argument when you resort to these things.
Where continued discourse on the matter would be of no use to anyone other than the most stubborn, die-hard supporters of a roundly rejected position.
Shit, Steve, you don't say.
My casual acquaintance Eli Bosnick made this point on Twitter a few days ago. Refuting bad ideas with good ideas is important, but so is removing bad ideas from the discourse.
Behold, the great and all-knowing fucking Steve Shives, knower of all good ideas and rejecter of all that is bad. Let us appoint him as our leader to decide for us which ideas we should entertain.
And when we refuse to do that, when we continue to engage with people pushing arguments that have already been refuted, we treat their bad ideas as though they were legitimate.
Well, guess what? Steve, you don't get to decide which ideas are legitimate and illegitimate for everyone else. You only get to decide that for yourself, the same as everyone else. Either you stay in the debates, stay for the conversation, or you fucking leave. If an idea is starting to gain attention, if it draws a crowd, if somebody is given a platform on which to spread their ideas and speak about their ideas, you do not get to deem it illegitimate and shut it down any more than I can deem you illegitimate and shut you down.
There's a name for this, the balance fallacy. It's what happens when people see their ideas treated as though they have merit or might have merit when we already know that they don't have merit. The balance fallacy is the only hope the likes of Spencer and Yiannopoulos have for continuing to earn a living disseminating their long ago discredited ideas.
Steve, there is a tactic that I like to employ on almost every occasion. It's almost like a bullshit test. You know, I take an idea and I flip it around. I turn it around. And that's what I'm going to do yet again with you. So tell me, you sad, poor little broken man, how would you like it if we took all of your feminist talking points, that feminism which you love so much, that equal pay, you know, my misogyny, my patriarchy, if we took that to a fucking court of law and we debunked the shit out of it like we do every fucking time you bring it up, and we had it deemed that you could no longer have a platform, have a voice to speak about these things? How would you feel about that? How would you feel if it was acceptable for somebody to come up and sucker punch the shit out of you every time you brought it up? And you know what, motherfucker, you would fold like a deck of cards if somebody even hit you with a glancing blow. Think about that for a moment. If you started bringing up anything about feminism, so I could just go up and sock the shit out of you, deplatform you, riot, and shut your ass down.
That's why they lean so hard on their warped, self-serving caricature of free speech, which in their interpretation includes not only the right to speak, but also the right to a microphone and an audience.
Again, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. If somebody gives you a microphone and you draw a crowd, you don't get to say that they can no longer have that microphone or have that crowd because you don't like what they're saying. Come on. Are you, honest to God, Steve, are you under the impression that people are being forced to show up to these events and people are being forced to give these people microphones? Is that what you think that this is a government issued crowd and a government issued microphone that these people are getting? Is that what you think?
Do they have the right to continue to speak in support of their bad ideas? Sure they do. Do they have the right to a platform to better enable them to disseminate those ideas? Absolutely not.
That's right, Steve. A platform is not a human given right. It is something that is earned or that you find or something that you get. Nobody is entitled to one any more than you are.
Let them speak, but let it be from atop an apple crate on a street corner, not on a stage at a university or in front of a radio microphone or a television camera. We've heard what they have to say. Now it's time to stop indulging them so the rest of us can move forward.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Steve Shives. I've said his name like 100 fucking times, I don't know why. The man who cannot move on until all dissenting opinions are silenced. Now, his video was titled, "How long are we going to keep arguing about this?" And Steve Shives, I have an answer for you. We're going to keep arguing about whatever we want, for however long we want, because we have the right to speak, and you will have to shoot me cold dead between the eyes before I let you take my freedom of speech away from me or anyone else. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion today, I just want to say something very simple and very plain. If you make it acceptable to punch somebody for saying something that you do not like, it is only a matter of time until you are punched for saying something that somebody else does not like. And that should really be particularly concerning for anybody who is built like a little cupcake. Well, everyone, before I go, let me shamelessly point out my tip jar. To anyone who would like to donate a little something to the cause, I would certainly appreciate it. And anyway, if you don't, I appreciate you anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember, keep fighting stupidity wherever you may find it. Have a good one.